Welcome to Table Talk Friday, your weekly dose of D&D banter between three men in a bedroom. If you like their style, come back every Friday for another upload. Now, back to the boys.
Okay, Drew. 20 minutes ago, I made history, and it is related. It's related to something I did when we lived together, which you'll recall. You'd be sitting there, you guys will have made like your breaded green beans or whatever, and something else for dinner, and then you're watching Bob's Burgers, and I'm sitting there on my Switch. And what game am I playing on my Switch? While it's up on the screen, it's Hades, right? I was playing a lot of Hades back then.
Sure.
Well, Hades 2 came out recently, and 20 minutes ago, I rolled credits on it. I beat it.
What?
I beat the game.
You beat the whole thing?
I beat the game. It took me 30 hours, and it took five times killing Kronos, 4 times killing another boss that I will not name for spoiler reasons, and then one more time beating the Titan of Time, and I beat the story. I saved everyone.
That's crazy. You spent, I can't even remember how many hours in the last game, and there was so much dialogue.
Yeah, no, there's still a lot of dialogue I have not seen yet because I think I beat it quickly compared to my last time. Like, I feel like I was better at the game because I had played so much Hades 1. I figured out the builds, like, to where the last, 10 runs, I was just slaughtering. Like, where I was playing, the same build every time because I was like, I know which weapon I like. I know which gods and boons I like. I'm just going to run for these so I can roll credits. And I did it today. I got to see the end of the story, and I got to say, it was great. There are, some little things here and there where I'm like, I liked this a little bit better in Hades 1, but as a game, as a video game that you play for hours, it definitely is a better game. It's more fun to play than Hades 1. So
I'm thoroughly impressed. I thought you were going to spend weeks and weeks. I mean, and hopefully you go back and, maybe get some more of the dialogue.
Yeah.
But for as long as you played on that first game and how much you enjoyed it, I really thought this was going to be your kick for just months.
I mean, so now I've beaten the story, yes, but there's still plenty to do and conquer. It'll probably be one of those games that I'm like, today's a Hades day, and then I pull it out and I play it for a few hours and I put it down and I'm like, all right, a few weeks I'll play it again.
Okay.
Because the past few weeks I've been trying to grind through Persona 3 and I'm almost 40 hours into this game. And today I woke up and it's been like my routine. I wake up, I work out, I do breakfast, and then I'm like, all right, let's sit down and grind out Persona 3 till my wife gets home. And I sit down and do that. Today I sat down to do that, and an hour in, I was like, I've been doing this the other 4 days of the week. Okay, I'm going to do something else today. And I grinded out the rest of Hades.
Heck yeah. Okay. This is a big... So, would you say this is one of your largest achievements in video game history? Because it sounds like it kind of is.
No. Definitely not.
No, bro, fast you beat that game?
Okay, no, I am proud of the fact that I'm good at the game. That felt really good. And I think it's less that I'm good at the mechanics and more that I'm really good at finding out how to cheese each build I do, because there's so much mechanics I didn't use because I'd be like, well, if I get this one thing, I don't have to do anything else. And so I got really good at being like, oh, if I get this specific super move with this exact build, then I can just click that and everyone will die, so I don't have to do anything else. So, no, I wouldn't say it's one of my greatest gaming achievements, though. I will say Battlefield 6, I've been playing it recently because I had a bunch of people I knew who were getting into it, and I was like, oh, you know what? I'll get it and I'll play. I have over a 2.0 KD. It feels great. I have not played an FPS in forever, and so I was like, all right, I'm going to buy it on PC. I'm going to sit down and see if I still have the FPS game in me, and I do have that dog in me.
Oh, you got that dog. Okay.
Yeah, I sat down, I started playing, and it's fun. It's good. Some parts of it feel like old Battlefield, but some parts of it feel like newer Battlefield. So it's not exactly the same Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4 vibes that I was kind of expecting going in, but it's good. It is fun to sit down and play.
I don't have much experience with Battlefield. I had I'm going to call it my rebound game, because as I exited Call of Duty forever ago, I was like, I want something a little different, a little more realistic. When Advanced Warfare, you were triple jumping into the sky and everyone was just bouncing around like they were on a bounce house. I swapped over to Battlefield 1, and I thoroughly loved that game. I don't think I played it for maybe more than a year, but really enjoyed it. I liked the class model, I liked the old school feel to it. But I'm assuming this new Battlefield game is more modern?
Yes and no. It's not futuristic. It is more of a modern warfare type deal, though. It's not like World War II. So
okay, that's peak Call of Duty right there.
Yeah, so I'm running around. I'm one of the jerks that runs around with an SMG running and gunning. Now, in old Battlefield, I was like the sit back and snipe kind of guy. I'd sit back and snipe at people. I would like shoot from like mid to long range to get all my kills. I would stay away as much as possible. This one, now the maps are smaller than other Battlefields, so I quickly found out that I was like, well, if I'm going to be in close range pretty often, because I'm a lot of times I'm dropping in by myself. I want to be able to capture objectives without a team. And so I'm like, I can competently, as long as I know where I'm at, I've gone on objectives with like 6, 7 people on them as the only person there and taken everybody out.
Yeah.
I've done it.
Okay.
I've done it more than a handful of times. And every time I feel like I get the shot of adrenaline that makes me feel like I am God's chosen warrior.
That's why, at least me, I'm assuming most people. That's why most people play these first person shooter games. I know it's why I play Hunt. When you just pull off this crazy play, I don't care if I die immediately after. I don't care if I won the game or not. If you could wipe like a whole squad or just pull an insane clutch move, that's all I need to do. I'm good for the day.
My proudest achievement so far is I had a game where I went 33-3. And in that game, my first life, I got 18 kills. I started the game.
Christ.
I started the game and I knew the map well enough at this point that I knew where all the alleyways were, and I've gotten really good at like popping out, shooting, getting 2 or 3 kills, going back, healing up, and then running to the next spot I need to go to. And I knew the map well enough that I was like able to think about, okay, there's probably going to be someone at this next area, so let me prepare. I would go around the corner, there'd be like 3 people, and they'd all be looking out windows and stuff because they're getting advantage point over other people. I'd be like, bah, 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 3 people down, and I'd be like, oh, this feels so good. And what you can do, because medics exist in the game and you can revive people easily, so you don't die as much in the game. So a lot of people do have more than 1.0 KD, pretty often. A lot of people go positive in these games. Not a lot of people are going negative, but not a lot of people get 2 to 3 times their kills to deaths. And in this time, I've realized that if you leave one of the teammates alive, they'll res them and you can kill them both. You lure him out. You lure him out, and you get 2 more kills.
I love the underhanded tactics of the modern day shooters nowadays. It's like, well, if I don't take the shot quite yet, I can get a better shot on all of them. Or if they res that guy, I can just blow them all up at once. It feels kind of shitty a little bit, but you feel pretty good afterwards.
What feels shitty to me is there are some spots that are harder to see than others, like windows and stuff, and I know where those windows are on some of the maps now, so I'll go up, I'll knife the window out so it'll go away, and I'll sit there, and I have maybe like a 3 to 5 degree angle that is like perfect, and if I fire at the right time, my SMG will kill them in like 4 shots. So I just need to fire at the perfect time, and it'll go, and they'll die. And so if I position just perfectly and I watch, I'm like, all right, I know this objective is about to get really busy and people are going to be flooding this alleyway. 10 kills later, they did. So very fun game. Chase has not played with me yet, and I'm a little upset because he told me weeks ago he was going to play with me. So I've had to stoop to playing with other friends.
Oh no, not other friends.
I know.
Chase is kind of peak friend.
Chase is peak friend. I can't get anybody better to play with me.
Chase is the friend meta. Man.
He is the friend meta. Speaking of which,
so basically you're going off the walls with these video games.
Well, yeah, because I have all this free time that's been granted to me from above, and in this free time, I'm knocking out my entire backlog. Persona 3 is the next game in the backlog, but in the process, I have finished Hades 2. Gabby and I finished Expedition 33. I don't know if you've heard of this game.
No,
it's on Xbox Game Pass. Expedition 33 is a turn-based RPG, but with action mechanics in between. So here's the crux of the story, and this is something good. Audience, steal this for your D&D campaign if you're with a group of people who don't play a lot of video games and don't know about Expedition 33. Now, let's set the scene. You're in a place called Lumiere, which is a knockoff of Paris, France. Everybody here is in very gorgeous French outfits, and the idea is there is off in the distance, across a ocean of sorts, you can see a giant monolith, and painted on it is a number. That number is the maximum age of people in this area. The number starting the game, everyone is 34, and at the very start of the game, it's about to go down to 33. So you get introduced to your characters, you see one of these gommages go off where people over the age of 33 get erased. and you are part of Expedition 33 to try and stop this from happening to you because you're 33 years old.
That's
So
cool.
so that's the hook of the game, right? And it's very cool. There are many twists, many turns. The game made Gabby and I cry at least twice.
Wow.
At least twice. That I was sitting there like all teary eyed and like, oh man, I can't recover from this emotionally. And I would say it is one of the best RPGs I've ever played. But there's also in it, there's parry and dodge mechanics, where like if you time whenever the enemy hits you, you could take 0 damage the whole game if you're that good.
Oh,
So
crazy.
you
Okay.
choose your attacks, and there's quick time events when you choose your attacks to where like you do more damage. But then also when the enemies go to attack you, you can dodge or you can parry. And if you parry, which is a little bit harder, you gain more points in order to do your next attack. And if you dodge, you just don't take any damage. So
Okay. So as someone who hasn't played these sort of turn-based games, maybe it sounds like I'm promoting it, but that sounds pretty revolutionary to me, right? That's a big step, no?
So there are other games like the Mario and Luigi series does this where like you can attack and like time your hits and like dodge things. Sea of Stars is another game that does stuff like this where you time your attacks and you can dodge stuff. But this is the first time that I've played it that it's been implemented this well. Like it makes or breaks the whole thing with how good their combat system is, because you feel like when you do beat something, you feel like you had to really earn it, because if you're only doing the turn-based stuff and not doing dodging and parrying, you're not going to win anything. Like,
Okay, I got
so
you.
great game, amazing. So we finished that this week too, which was another like 35 to 40 hours I think that we put into it, and we did that for like 2 or 3 weeks, and now I'm in Persona 3. So lots of things. This is the end of my these games have to be played before I am deceased backlog. So Persona 3, it has been on my list for forever. I've played 4 and 5. Persona 3 has been on my list forever. I've tried it multiple times and never gotten to it or gotten through it. So very excited to finish it, but I still have like twice the game that I've played so far to go.
This is the next one on your list, Persona 3?
Yeah, I'm almost done. Like, I mean, I've got like 30 hours left in the game.
Dang. Okay. You're just knocking things out left and right. I wish I had a game bucket list.
Yeah, no, I do. I literally have a list out that's all the games I want to finish. And so before I start this new job, I'm trying to knock out that bucket list. So then I just have games that I want to play. I cannot feel bad about just playing like games that are time wasters, like No Man's Sky. Been playing that a good bit still too. So I don't want to feel bad about the time waster games anymore. I just want these games that give me anxiety because I haven't played them and get them off the list.
Okay. I don't have anything new I want to play. I'm hoping to play Baldur's Gate 3 in the next couple months for Christmas time.
Black Friday's coming up.
I know. I'm thinking about it. I did just drop, $2,000 on vehicle repair, so we're hurting a little bit. But no, that I'm gonna play Baldur's Gate 3 for sure. I want to play that Unraveled 2 as well game, because we just got it on sale. It was like $2 or something. So me and wife Eric are gonna go play that. And then there was one other one I wanted to play. I can't remember. There's one more in my backlog that I want to try. But for right now, me and gamer friend Eric, we've been playing just the crap out of Hunt Showdown. And as I have been for a long period of time. But I feel like we've kind of peaked. We kind of like rounded the corner in our Hunt Showdown level of prowess.
Yeah.
So we don't know. We were kind of like, we're kind of in duos, and sometimes we do okay. And so, I feel like we're above average players, but that's kind of just where we were at. The other day we were playing, and some random dude joins our lobby, like right into our party, which is like super invasive. We talked about it afterwards. Like, this guy just joined our party. Like, it's like walking into someone's house without knocking. It was real weird. It felt like that, because we're in the middle of gaming. It's this guy joins the lobby. He's like, "Hey man, you want a third?" It's like, yeah, sure. So obviously you can't play duos to play against 3 people. So we went into trios, and we started kicking butt. And we're like, oh, okay. The next day, so we stopped playing with this guy. Now we're playing just us again. The next day, dude, something lit, like our eyes turned red when we went into trios. We were popping off. Just headshotting everybody, taking everybody down, getting all the XP on every weapon we would need, just pulling 1v3 fights out of our butt. It doesn't make any sense. We've done it, I think, three times in a row now, where we load into trios and we do 10 times better.
Just as the two of you?
Duos. Yeah. I don't know why. I cannot explain it. I don't know if there's some sort of game algorithm that I'm not aware of. I have no idea. we do 10 times better in trios. We survive probably 60 to 70% of the time when there's an extra player
Do you
against
think
us.
maybe you get rid of that first group and now you've just got all the gear because you took out 3 people instead of 2?
I don't know, because money hasn't really been an issue for us as much recently. Like, we've had a lot more money, and in the game, even when I have a lot of money, I'm not always buying the top gear. I kind of buy the guns that I like.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not meta. It's just like, this is just kind of like, I'm a bow guy. I like using just a regular bow. It's real cheap. You can one-shot people if you're really good. And I'm taking down teams of 3 with full-on rifles and whatnot.
That's cool.
So we're kicking butt. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I think we're going to max prestige this game. We're 34 prestiges in.
Out of how many?
And,
50?
out of 100.
You can't go that far.
I'm doing it.
You've been playing for over a year, haven't you?
I think we've been playing a year and a half or so, but that's another big thing about trios is because you're duos and trios, you get more money and more XP. So now we're leveling up even faster.
So you don't think it's going to take you 5 total years to prestige the entirety of this game?
I think we could do another year and a half.
That's a big commitment.
I think we can. I'm not like, this is the deadline. I have to max out this game right then and there. But I'm feeling really good. I'm really vibing with this energy that's going on, and I don't want it to go away. So I'm just gonna keep rolling with it.
No, for sure,
It's
for
fantastic.
sure. There was a game that had an early access thing this past week that was another extraction shooter.
Ooh.
And it looked really cool. Oh my god, I forgot what it was called because a lot of people were talking about Arc Raiders. That's what it was called.
I think I heard of that.
Yeah, Arc Raiders. I saw a lot of people talking about it, especially like in the Kind of Funny community. They were talking about it lately, and I watched them play it, and it looks super fun. Now I'm already committed to a couple. I've got Helldivers and I've got Battlefield 6 in my back pocket right now for multiplayer games, so I'm not going to be jumping into Arc Raiders. But I mean, maybe you guys would enjoy that. It's got the whole proximity chat thing going on too. I don't know if Hunt has that.
That's always fun.
Yeah.
They do. You have to turn it on, and we've played with it a few times to the point where you start taunting people like, look, man, you can get the bounty and go, and I'll grab the other bounty, and we'll just leave. Like, we don't have to shoot each other. Let's just do it. And it's worked. One time it worked for me. One time. Every other time usually gets you killed. But
there was a time, or when I was watching Snowbike Mike from Kind of Funny play it the other day, he was on a team with some people, and he introduced him and his 2 buddies to this group of 2 dudes that were running around in Arc Raiders. And he was like, hey guys, this is just a playtest server, meaning nothing, we don't get anything out of this. Our accounts are going to be wiped. So how about the 5 of us run around and kill everyone? And he got them to team up, and the 5 of them were running around popping heads.
That's crazy.
Until one of them accidentally mistook the other guy for an enemy and killed one of them, and then the other guy, his friend, tried to defend him, and then all 3 of them killed him, and they were like, "We're so sorry, we thought we were friends."
It only takes one, then it's a full-out shootout.
I would like to play a game like that eventually again, like we did with Sea of Thieves back in the day, but God. I just don't know if we're gonna get to that unless it's a week where D&D is not happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if there's a week where D&D is not happening at all, I would be totally down to jump into like Sea of Thieves or something and just do that for a night. Or get actually like for realsies jump into Magic with you and go through the ropes, because I played with our group last week and we had some phenomenal Magic games.
I do really want to play. I think I may buy myself a deck sometime soon.
Ooh.
I kind of want to build it though. I might just buy like a pre-made one and then swap some stuff out.
Oh, that's what I did for my first one. I bought a pre-made one and I swapped in stuff to make it better, and then I realized the deck I had made was not fun for other people at the table, because I made a spell slingy deck that just like copies spells and draws cards and stuff, and I was like, this isn't fun for me or everybody else. So then I bought a different deck and I upgraded that one, and then I felt a lot better about myself. Now I am strictly a Voltron player. Like, not only Voltron, but I play a lot of Voltron, which is I put one card down and then I take all these equipment and enchantments and throw it on that one card, and that one card one-shots you. And it's probably one of the weakest archetypes, because creature removal is like the easiest thing to do, right? But when it works, it works. I won a game last week as Cloud because I got down to like 4 health, but then I hit someone 2 times in a row and gained 70 health of lifelink.
Jesus.
And so
70 points of lifelink.
I ended up with over 70 health, and then it was just me and one other I think it was just me and Gabby left at the table. There were 5 people playing, and just me and Gabby left at the table. And I was like, just do whatever you can. And she did everything she could. And then I killed her in one shot. It was crazy. I think from card, like top to bottom, I took up my entire playmat. It was like this long. Like, it was like that long of just cards stacked on top of each other, showing all the abilities.
It's just like two lands and like how many cards come in a commander? Is 100?
Yeah, it's 100.
So it's like 10 lands, one creature, and
no, 40 lands. 40 lands.
40 lands,
and
really?
60 cards. Like, I don't know, like 15 of them are creatures, and the other 25 are all equipment.
Dang. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm completely, aloof of how to optimize the Magic decks. Back in the day, I think it was like what 20 land or 20 to 25 land was acceptable.
So yeah, it would be like 20 to 25 in a 60 card deck. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm also a mana weaver too, so I got to make sure I cheat.
I made that joke the other day because I drew all the best cards in my cloud deck, and I was talking to the guy next to me. I was like, I always end up getting like these 3 best cards in my deck, and I swear I'm not doing anything. And then I drew my cards, and they were all in my opening hand. And I looked at him, and I said, "Hey, can I show you something in confidence?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." And so I show him, and he goes, "Dude." And then I won.
Man.
I told him, I was like, yeah, well, it really helps that I shuffled everything in the order I wanted before we came.
That's good. That's good stuff.
Yeah, no, it was funny. I think definitely there's a lot of good decks out there right now, especially the ones that came out in 2025 are all really, really strong and powerful. You'll probably like the Tarkir Dragonstorm ones the best because they go off of the like Jeskai or the Sultai, all the different like little clans that go on there. But they're on the cheaper side because they're not like Final Fantasy or something, which everybody was buying. So either one of those decks or the Bloomburrow decks are really, really fun and good. Bloomburrow are they're all animal themed decks. So I have the bunny themed one. Gabby has the raccoon themed one. There's a bird themed one, and then there's a squirrel themed one. I actually think you would like the squirrel one, and it's really good. It's Golgari, so it's green and black.
I think green-black is the coolest combo.
So, yeah, and it's really cheap on Amazon right now. It's like $49. It used to be $80 or more because it's really good, and it was really good from that set, so everybody was buying it. But it's really cheap right now because they reprinted them. They restocked them. I might give it a try. Yeah, that one is really good. I was looking at the commander the other day, and I was like, dang, I kind of want that one. But I already have like 10 decks.
I had to pick a commander. Oh gosh, the stress of picking a commander.
The pre-made one will come with a commander, but you can change it out.
Yeah, I'm not going to use the mainstream guy they use, though.
Well,
I got to pick my own.
What I'll say is that it's already made in a way that like that commander works really well. I would recommend choosing your precon based on the commander you want and changing the cards in your 99. Because that's what's going to make your deck different is what cards you decide to put in. But the precon is going to be like around that commander's ability.
I was actually just going to run nothing but commanders so I could swap them out.
Well, you can do 5-color Ninja Turtles because the Ninja Turtle set comes out in March.
Jesus. Why do you need 5? Oh, God. I can't. That stresses me. That's like people that multiclass in D&D into 6 different things. Like, why? You could have just done one.
The upsetting thing is the Ninja Turtles cards mechanics look really cool and the art is really cool, but the Ninja Turtles don't belong there. But like at the same time, I'm just like, yes, it ruins my immersion. But I grew up with Ninja Turtles, dude. I love Ninja Turtles. But it'll probably be
Ninja Turtles out of your brain.
It'll probably be the same.
We're not talking about Ninja Turtles anymore.
It'll probably be the same as like the Sonic stuff and all that, where I won't end up buying it anyways, because they had the Sonic secret layer. They had the freaking Office secret layer. I don't know if you knew about this. They have a Dwight Schrute card. It's a real card. It's real. It exists.
Why? For what reason? How does he fit into the Magic world?
Because people buy it and they play it for money.
That's not a good reason.
All right. We should get on into D&D stuff. We made it 24 minutes. Audience, if you're still listening for D&D advice, don't worry, we've got plenty of it for you in today's episode. So there has been some chatter online thanks to someone known as Ginny D. Shout out to Ginny D, one of my favorite D&D YouTubers. And she has been talking a lot. The past couple videos on her channel have been about playing D&D like in a paid setting, in a paid group. So I think it's like startplaying.gg or something like that, where you can sign up and pay to play in D&D games, something we've never experienced because we've only ever done home games with our friends, right? And well, I've DM'd at conventions, and I had a lot of fun doing that, but very different setting whenever you're paying to show up at a table and play for a group of strangers, basically people you don't know. And I watched both of her videos on it, thought it was very cool. Don't know if it's something I would put myself into. Maybe in the future, if I had like knew I was gonna have that kind of free time, like once or twice a week to do it as like a little fun thing or try it out. But I wanted to get your perspective on what you think like the vibes would be like at a paid D&D table as opposed to like our home games that we have now.
I really don't know how it would feel, like the atmosphere. I think it's probably the biggest concern, just because when you're playing the games we've played for years, you're playing around, all your friends, right? This is, your friend's tone, you kind of know how they act, right? There's a sort of, I don't know, like a comfort zone, I suppose, versus playing with brand new people that you maybe haven't even met till the second you start to play. It could be a big deal, right? I mean, you'd have no idea who you're walking into. It could be some terrible, terrible player who's just going to derail everything you do, right? Or worse, some players that just don't mesh well. So I think there's the fear of that, but I'm trying to think of it more, and I feel like it's more likely that it would just go well. There's less stress, right? Especially if you're not playing for a long-term kind of campaign. If you're never gonna see these people again, right? Or you're running something kind of new. I feel like it would feel, if that makes sense, like running just new players. In college, I ran a lot of new players. I ran people's first games, probably maybe like half a dozen people, and I enjoyed it. I really liked it, and sometimes I ran people that I didn't know very well or were just sort of acquaintances of other people at the table, and I had a blast. I think there's a lot of potential for it, and I'd like to see how it goes. Yeah. But how do you feel about it?
So I love the idea only because I have run games for strangers like that before. Now, I know you've never DM'd at a convention, but in my experience with it, I think I do it like twice whenever we lived together or something like that. Traveled out to Raleigh to those conventions, and from my experience with that, one, you never know if you're even going to have signups, because I went over to my table, I set it up nicely, and I was like, all right, here we go. And I was like, hey, I have the level 3 session, Blight of the Castaway was the name of the session I was running. And they were like, oh, yeah, no, we don't have any signups yet, but we'll let you know when they are. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go do a lap around the convention. You just let me know. And by the time I came back, there were people there. And I was like, oh, okay, I didn't know that it was going to work like this. And so I get there, I had character sheets made, but I was like, hey, if you have a level 3 character, like, feel free to use it. But they're like, no, we'll use these ones. And I was like, okay, well, you make up the personality, you make up the voice and everything that you want, and then we'll get started. I ran them through the setting, and it was awesome. Like this group of strangers, it was a group of guys that were all friends. They all wanted to play, and so they just came up. They all already knew each other, and they had amazing vibes. I was really scared of getting weirdos, to be frank. I was really scared of getting weirdos, and these guys were so cool. We went out to dinner afterwards, and like we did the game, which was like 4.5 hours. I was expecting it to go for like 2 with the stuff I had written. But they really got into the idea of getting creative with everything, and it took them like an hour to come up with their plan for killing this dragon that I'd put in front of them with a group of, I think it was kobolds. And so they made friends.
Green dragon, a giant tree.
Yeah,
right?
They made friends with the kobolds. They decided they were going to shoot a flaming wagon into the lair of the green dragon and try to blow them up. And it was awesome. It was such a fun session. And we went to dinner afterwards, and they paid for my dinner, and it was cool. I got added to their Discord server and never talked to them again.
Are you still in the server?
No. I think I left it a long time ago. Anyways, it was a lot of fun, and I have a feeling that the vibes, if you're like paying to join a session, would be pretty much the same. And I think what really matters in this scenario is, one, your experience with storytelling in a way that is worth like $10 or more, and then also with your ability to set expectations before the session. Because for me, I think if I was going to do this, right, I'm going to put myself in the shoes here. I would, one, probably run something I'm already super familiar with. Like, hey, I'm going to run this one. We're going to start off. I'm going to run this one off that I wrote forever ago, and we're going to see how it goes. Like, I'll run Blight of the Castaway for him, right? Cool. Run that for him. And then if the group vibes and they like each other, I'll be like, hey, if you guys want to make this a regular thing, you can come back. We will make long-term characters, and I will let you take your pick of the 5e books. I will run you through one, and then after that, I will write you campaigns. Like that's kind of I think that's exactly what I would do, because I'd be like, that's what I did with you guys. You know, I ran some games here and there, and then I was like, all right, I'm going to run Storm King's Thunder, and then after Storm King's Thunder, I did the epilogue, and then same thing for, hey, we're starting a new campaign, COVID's going on, I'm just gonna run Descent into Avernus, wrote my own stuff after, and then now we're doing fully like homebrewed stuff. So I think that's what I would do is if I was doing it in that way. And what really makes it hard for me is making it worth the money, because I know the reason people sign up for these games is because they probably don't have access to a group they can regularly get together. Like the biggest thing in D&D is scheduling. If people have paid to show up to your session, they're going to show up to the session. It like if I paid $20 say for a game, I'd show up for sure. And so I think, you know, the commitment will probably be there. The communication would probably be there because everyone cares enough because they put the money in. Granted, like if you have a home game in a group of people together already, you don't have to worry about this. This is a non-issue. Like for our group, non-issue. Like nothing we're gonna have to deal with. But for these people who actually want to play games, who are like, you know what, I've been wanting to play D&D and I can't find a group that gets together consistently, or like my local game store is not fun to play at, it's really weird, then I think it's a great option. I think it's a really solid option for people to jump in on there. Now, do I think that there's probably going to be an influx of people signing up to do this now that these videos are out there and a lot of people are talking about it? So I do worry about like saturation of now there being every DM for everything is now flooding into there, which makes me think like, maybe I don't even want to try it out because of oversaturation. But another silver lining to that is I can run more than just 2014 D&D. I can run, say, Monster of the Week. I've been wanting to play Monster of the Week again. I could run that. I could run 2024 D&D. I've read the book. It's not that much different. I could run Daggerheart instead. The more niche stuff, I think there's a big set of people who are like want to play these games who might need DMs for that kind of stuff. I've been wanting to try Pathfinder 2nd Edition. Maybe this is a way to try DMing it.
This could be the next wave or the next surge D&D players. I know we saw a huge influx of players coming in when the D&D movie came out, which I think they're actually talking maybe about a second one now. But everyone was talking about it for a while, like, oh, what is D&D? Like, oh, you play? Tell me more about it. And people actually starting to dip their toes in the water. And with this, with a higher influencer kind of talking about the opportunity to start trying these games, people might start doing it, right? Especially as people are kind of hanging out inside.
Yeah, so I am thinking about like just making the account and trying it out once or twice, see if it works out well, because that would be good motivation. As you know, I have said it many times to the group, I love playing for our groups, but I love DMing more. Like there's just something about being in the DM seat and telling the story that I enjoy more, even though I'm loving Patrick's game where I get to play as Gene. So I'm loving getting to do that, but there's just something a little bit different for me when it comes to being the storyteller, where I think it's because I get to flex my creative muscle more, as opposed to like as opposed to being a participant, I'm like, I'm there with the puppet strings.
That's true.
I probably a personality thing or something like that, but still, I think it would be a fun way to get more games in. Granted, I don't know if I'm gonna have a time for something like that when I start my new job, so who knows if that's actually gonna happen. Yeah.
That's the problem, is all the extra writing you have to do. I will say, so I think you'd be fantastic at it, because like you said, you've already done the conventions. You already kind of have that your toe in the water of sort of what to expect there. Versus me, I'm kind of like, oh God, I don't know. Some of these players might be really crazy or weird, and I don't really want to run with them, especially several hours in a row. However, I will say, I did not know this was the topic we were doing. I saw that video the other day of Genevieve talking about the start playing, and I impulsively said, I'm gonna try it. I did. I got approved yesterday, and I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna give it a go. Mm-hmm. My process is, or my thought process here is, I don't really get to run a whole lot of games. Realistically, I run like 2, maybe 3 games a year, which is great. But I started off well, I mean, I played with you guys, obviously starting off, but very quickly when I first started playing D&D, I started my own homebrew campaign, and it was pretty consistent for a while. I really enjoyed that. I really want to get back to that. And I want to be a better DM overall,
Yeah.
which unfortunately cannot do because we don't always get to play all the time. And when we don't get to play, someone usually jumps on the bandwagon quicker of having a one-off or something. So my idea was, well, this is a good opportunity for me. I'm not even going to make it about money. I'm just
Yeah.
going to pop on. I'm going to invest myself here. I'm going to charge everyone whatever the minimum amount is, whether it be a free game or $1 or whatever it is, and be like, look, I'm sort of an old head DM. I think I peaked at some point. I'd like to get back up there to where I was, and just see how it goes. And I'm gonna run a couple games. I'll let you know. I'll let you know how it goes. And I'm
Oh,
working
this
on
is
a
good.
one-off
This is a
right
good
now.
case
And
study.
yeah, yes, I'm the what is it? Not the control group, the experimental group.
Well,
I'll
no,
let you know
it's
how
it's
it
just
is,
really
and,
funny that I watched the video today because she came up with another one, and then I happened to bring it up without you telling me. That's hilarious.
It's actually, so you said that, and I said perfect timing because we were talking about the topic, a couple hours ago, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's the perfect thing to talk about. I literally just got approved yesterday. Let's do
That's
this.
so cool.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm looking forward to
Within,
this then.
Yeah, no, it's I'm really excited. I'm hoping it goes well. And if it doesn't pan out, that's totally okay. I'll just try my hand to play in a couple games, and so be it. I had fun with it, right? Got some creative juices flowing, which is what it's all about. So
I
it'll be
personally
exciting.
think I would also like to try it. I haven't put in any application or anything yet, but I would like to try DMing some stuff on there. But I was thinking I really want to practice with another system and DM a different system
Do it.
because
Why not?
the problem is I don't get to practice another system. I don't want to show up for these people that are maybe I can do like the minimum and be like, "Hey, I'm also learning how to play like Pathfinder 2nd edition or something like that." But I've been DMing for a long time. I'm just trying to do this system. I really don't want to show up and do a bad job because I don't know the system. I know 2014 5e like the back of my hand. I could show up. If you said, "Hey, I'm sick today. I need you to take over my game right now." I could tab over during this podcast and DM a game right now. So,
Yeah.
so that I want to be at that level for the game I'm going to DM because I don't want to give them a bad experience, But I would love to run like a Pathfinder 2nd edition game or something like that, or a Monster of the Week game. Something for you, I was going to say, because if you were going to say like, "Oh yeah, I'm thinking about it too," I was going to be like, you could be Mr. One-Off because you have like in your back pocket, you have a ton of good ones ready to go that you've run for us. And I was like, you could be so good at just like pulling out like the ones that you've already written and just showing those off and being like, "Look, this is the one where you guard the door. Okay, you're guarding the door, and and all these shenanigans are gonna happen." But that's what like one of my fondest one-off memories is you saying, "Hey, make a character that's gonna be guarding a door," and we spent 3.5 hours guarding a door.
It would have gone, much further than that if I had some more DMing experience under my belt. So we're hoping to get over there. But that was a really fun one-off. I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Which is funny you mentioned the one-offs. I feel like I'm kind of the special one-off guy right now at
Yeah.
the table, just for like the Christmas thing or like a holiday. But I'd like to be the one-off guy. Like we're not playing like
Yeah.
Drew can come up with something quickly. I'd like to get there, and I think that's where I'm going to start. It seems to be on the platform of start playing. It's more geared towards campaigns, which is fine. I don't anticipate running a game every day or anything like that, or maybe even every week. But I'd like to start getting my prowess back up by just running some silly one-offs, things that I've written. Maybe running a Christmas one-off for the holidays for a bunch
That
of
would
other
be
people,
cool.
running it a couple times. I think it'd be a blast.
I
So
think those would
that is
sell
what I'm
well
gonna start
too.
doing.
If you post those, I think people will look at it and go like, "You know what? I'd pay $10 to join this game."
Yeah,
Because
I like to think so.
when I think about it, like, okay, let's break down some numbers here. If I was to run it and I was running a weekly group, I would just want like, I usually run 3-hour games, right? I usually do about 1 to 2 hours of prep, so that's 5 hours total of work. $10 a person. For me, I feel like, hey, that's a really solid amount. Like $50, 5 hours of work. I love doing D&D. I wouldn't be expecting this to be a job. It would just be extra money to buy more D&D stuff. So
To feed the addiction, really.
really, so I was like, $10 a game. I feel like that's pretty reasonable. But then I know if demand is there, like if you end up running 2 or 3 games, it's like, okay, I'm gonna have to bump this to like more, because I know there's some people
Yeah.
making their whole living. They're running like 10 games a week on there, and that's how they're making their living. And I'm like,
Crazy.
that's cool. I mean, if it was my job to clock in and clock out as a DM, I would be ecstatic. I do think I would burn out eventually though, to where I'm like showing up to games really tired and not able to be coherently there all the time.
Well,
So,
that's the balance, right? Because you mentioned clocking in and clocking out. I don't think I could full time DM. I don't think that's who I am as a person.
you know, when
I
I was
just
when I
don't
was a ninja
know
coach, I
if I
feel
could
like that's what
function
I
with it.
was. So,
Yeah, well, and you know, you're very, very, very into DMing. I still really enjoy being a player. I don't know if there's one I necessarily enjoy more. I mean, I happen to play it a ton times more than I, DM, but when I did DM a lot and more consistently, I mean, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed
yeah,
telling those stories, but I kind of see playing a lot of the time, and maybe that's just my personality and my play style. I kind of see being a player very similar to being a DM because I know everyone else at our table. I know that they're all DMs, and I want to support them. I want them to be able to tell their stories. So
yeah,
I think that's part of the reason I like playing the support players is not only am I, partaking, but I'm also boosting them, right? Like, I bet
yeah,
if I do this, it would be way more fun for him. Or like, if I did this,
yeah.
that
That's
would really
fair.
help him progress the story. And I think that's important to kind of think that way sometimes as a player, but maybe not everyone does that.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's really fun. I am not an experienced player. That's the problem. Is I have had so little experience actually playing D&D because I'm so busy DMing D&D as since we did the, 3 year and 2 year campaign back to back. Like I have no experience as
True.
a
Yeah.
I have very little experience as a player. Probably less than I would say I probably played less than 50 sessions of D&D and I've probably DM'd like hundreds.
So in inverse for me, I've probably DM, I don't know, 50, 60 sessions in total, something like that, but played for hundreds. Maybe people should be paying me to be at their table because I'm such a good experienced
You're
player.
such a good
Maybe
experienced player. That's like it's like you go into Hunt Showdown and you're like, hey, it'll be $5 if you want to be on your squad, buddy.
getting coached by, or not even coaching, just caring. Just sit the extract. I'll get all the XP. You could literally just AFK. I'll be right back with the bounties. I got you covered.
I love that idea.
I was online the other day and I was looking through the platform and start playing and I was trying to find good DMs in journal and one person did pop up and his name was Good Old Gamer
Oh
actually.
my
I found
god.
him. He runs 1,000 games a week, makes $1 million a year. This guy is
Oh my
insane. I'm talking
god.
5 stars across the board. Not a single review below five. It's
I
horrific.
just
This
sent him
man
my
is.
account and routing number for his game.
I already sent my social security number too. There's a little email for it. I'll hook you up in the comments,
I
guys. So
registered
make
my
sure you pay
car under
attention.
his name.
Yeah, yeah. So I guess Good Old Gamer, if you happen to be listening, because I guess you're also a Patreon follower as well. That's kind of a coincidence. Sort of weird. First time hearing from you on Start Playing. But if you happen to be listening, we appreciate you, man. And hopefully some other people pop in and start chatting with you, and we have a nice
Woo.
solid community growing. Yeah. Thanks, Good Old Gamer.
But man, I think it would be really cool. You know what? I'm gonna find your name on there. I'm gonna be like, all right, I'm giving Drew $5 to join his game.
Wouldn't that be funny? My first game is just the table that all puts $5
We
in.
all
It's
put
like,
$5 in.
what?
We've been wanting to play for you for so long.
Shut up, guys. That'd be really funny.
You're like, stop it. Stop
Over
throwing your
the
money at me.
Please stop. Stop throwing your money at me. That'd be really hysterical, though. But yeah, no, I'm really stoked. I think there are some other platforms out there, so I'm gonna start looking around to see if there's some other good options too. But Start Playing
Roll
has
20.
some good. Yeah, roll 20, and that's what I'd be playing my games over, right? I'd be using that platform because you can use other tools and things like that.
Yeah.
But I think there's some other good ones out there, and for anybody that is listening to this that wants to do some DMing, if you don't have a group, try something like this. It may be a little scary at first, kind of like we're talking about. There's a little bit of a fear factor to it, right? Even for veterans. But give it a try. Hop on in. Don't charge people a lot of money. Just give it your best. See if you can learn, progress yourself with your DM skills. And I mean, who knows? Maybe you're already a really good DM. You don't have anybody to run games for. Pop on, charge a couple bucks, especially if you're really good, and enjoy yourself. Feed the addiction. Get more D&D stuff. Get more minis. By all means.
So what I've been thinking about schedule wise is, I like to spend a good amount of time with my wife. I like to have a lot of downtime to finish my backlog. Scheduling wise though, my new job, I'm going to have a lot of days where my hours are like afternoon to evening. Be cool, I wake up, first thing I do, at D&D at 8 a.m. Let's go. 8 a.m.
Weird.
I would be fine if I could just wake up, drink some coffee, and start playing D&D. Like I'd be all in and be like, hey guys, okay, and they'd probably be like European players or something,
It's true.
because of that. So I could totally get behind that. I think it's a really cool idea. I like that it's been the methods to actually signing up for this have been put out there a little bit more, and it's because I think there was a time where I looked at it as more of a like, I get that for free. Why would I ever pay to do that? Like, why would I ever pay for a gym membership? Push-ups are free.
It is true. That is true.
Yeah, there was a time where I felt that way, and I think after seeing what the world of that is like, I'm like, oh, this actually seems like a really cool community of people.
All right, so let's go through a little simulation scenario, right? Take yourself back. You are a fairly brand new player, right? Let's say we're in college, you're learning D&D. You get a couple sessions in, you're hooked. You love the game, you want to play more, but every single person who played D&D, but they all dropped out of college. Oh man, there's no more group. What are you gonna do? Would you, Seth, would you pay $5 to play a game?
No.
Really?
I don't think I would because I'm a DM.
But you weren't at the time. Brand new player.
Okay, my argument for me at that time is I had to be coerced by Zach to play D&D in the first place, is because I was so busy at the time I couldn't be bothered. I was doing my homework in the room during the first session and put it down because I got so into it. I don't think I would have shown up to that first session had I not been coerced. And so given that, I don't think I would have. If I was already actively watching Critical Role and really wanted to get involved, I think I would look into those kinds of things. Or I think most likely for me as a person, what I would do is I would look at what game stores are around, which typically will charge a head per table for D&D. So, which that is another option. I didn't know if you knew, but on the website, you can do a local. So you can set yourself as, hey, I'm in San Antonio and I'm running a local game at these times per week at this spot. And people can pay to play locally.
Oh no, I didn't know that. That would actually be way more cool.
Yeah, so you can have people show up and play games with you in person as opposed to just on Roll20. For this start playing thing, I would definitely be a Roll20 DM, I think. But that is also an option there. Now, I'll turn the question back to you. At the time, you knew we were playing D&D. Say we all were so busy and you came to the door, hey guys, it's me, Drew, and I'm ready to start my adventure. And we take the door and go, no, and we slam it in your face. What? Would you be like, oh, I'm going to go online and I'm going to pay to play? Would you have done that?
So brand new player, I've never played, or I played one session. Give me
Let's say
a little
you
bit,
played
a
your
little more.
introductory one-off that we did.
Okay. I played one session. I want to play more, but the door is closed.
Yeah, we shut you out. We went, no, and we closed the door.
I think I might have paid $5 to play in a game, even if it was like once a week. And what's that, $20 a month? There's movies are way more expensive, and I would say D&D is way better than watching a movie.
Yeah.
So I think I absolutely would have spent $5 to play in a game. If it was too much more than that, I don't think so. And in general, I guess for me, I feel like there's kind of a bell curve of when I would spend money on a game. So just starting, I'm thinking brand new players, oh yeah, I want to try that. I'm willing to put some money into a new experience. So trying a new restaurant, going to a new movie, going to a sports game you've never been to, right? Makes sense, $10, whatever it is, you try the game. I think after that, it kind of drops a little bit. But then it spikes into this sort of a bell curve where people are now into the game, they're hooked, and they are spending that kind of money on a weekly basis or bi-weekly basis, whatever it may be. I then think it drops off as you get more experience, because experienced players are probably going to have some sort of group, I would imagine. If you have that level of experience, you probably have some friends or something you've been playing with locally or online or something in some capacity, right? To which case, if you're playing that much, you're probably not paying for more games. But maybe I'm not thinking of it as the player perspective as much. I don't know, but I absolutely would have paid a small fee when I was a newer player, 100%.
I think nowadays, because I'm probably going to be going into another couple years of DMing pretty soon, I think I would consider just jumping on there and being like, I'm going to drop $10 and join this thing. I now would. Being a new player, no way I would have. I had too many hobbies at the time. I have too many hobbies now. now already being experienced in the fact that I don't get to play very often, I think I totally would nowadays. I would jump straight in. I'd be like, you know what? I'd even pay if I knew a DM was like highly, highly rated. I'd be like, I want to know what this guy DMs like $20. I would throw that in.
I can see that, like running, playing with a, highly influential person or someone who has, run 1,000 games in their lifetime, someone you've heard of, right? I absolutely would pay money to be at that table. But I feel like that's sort of a different market too. Like that's only the veteran people I would think that are thinking that way.
And that's something I'm thinking that this made me go into my next thing, because that's something I'm thinking about doing for the whole learning Pathfinder better. If I'm thinking about learning how to run Pathfinder Second Edition, what better way than to make a character and jump into someone's game, right?
That is true, yeah.
I'm down to drop like $10 to join someone's game, see if I like it, see if it was any fun, or even join a campaign that's going on every like 2 weeks. I'll say 2 weeks because I don't want to do it every week. Yeah. But add that in to my schedule every 2 weeks or so. I would join someone's game and learn how that system works so that way I can DM it. And then that gives me another method of advertising, like, hey, I run Pathfinder and D&D because I know the system well enough. So that would be a way to do it, or Monster of the Week or any of those other systems I was talking about, because I do think I would like to. Probably if I was to post myself on there, I'd post myself mainly as other games and D&D, because I think that'll get more players because way less people are running those systems.
That is true, but there are also maybe less players for.
There are probably less players as well. I agree, but I think the people who do know those systems and really want to play them are freaking ravenous because nobody plays them.
Do you think there's a lot of people playing like these old versions of D&D, like 2E or 3? I'm not sure if it's even called 3. It might just be Pathfinder.
3.5 was the like third edition. D&D third edition was third edition, and then 3.5, which 3.5 was like super popular. Apparently that was amazing.
I mean, I'd like to try it once. I don't think I would continue with it, but
I would just do Pathfinder at this point. Pathfinder is like, I think that would be like Sean's favorite system. I think by far it's very number crunchy. It is very like so customizable. You have a million subclasses, you have a million different character traits for everything. A million different feats and ways you can build your character, along with like races and stuff. And it's a 3 action system. It is not an action, bonus action, movement. It's 3 actions. You can use an action to move. You can use 2 actions for like a big attack or something like that. Or you can, things cost a certain amount of actions, which I like a lot because it gives you the freedom. You know what? I just want to attack 3 times this turn. I'm not going to move. I'm just going to attack 3 times. Stuff like that. It is a very number crunchy combat system, and then also with all the things that you love about 5e, So that's one that I've been interested in running in and playing, because I think it would be like, if I was playing in it, it'd probably be my favorite system too. because there's so much like diversity in it. Like you have so many different options for number crunch builds.
I feel like it's really intimidating to me. It's not a power game. I mean, I try to be as strong as possible, obviously, but for me, extremely intimidating. I don't think I'd like to try it, but I can't imagine playing it for more than a few sessions and going, yeah, I want to keep playing this. Like I would much rather go to 5e, where it's very loose, it's very customizable, very flavorful, thematic. That's kind of my cup of tea. And maybe I'll be proved wrong. I don't know, but I really love 5e. I can't imagine me swapping away from it permanently as my primary platform. But you never know.
I think we'll always use 5e as our primary storytelling outlet. And when it comes to that, I think that maybe throughout as time goes on, we'll probably find like more supplements and stuff to add in. Because I think that'll be the main thing, is at some point we're gonna have too many Twilight clerics running around. Because nobody gets to play Twilight Cleric anymore because we've had 8 of them already.
So disappointing. I want to play one so bad.
I know, but because we all know what they do. We're all like, oh, is this dim lighting? Because I would like to fly. So some of these subclasses are going to get worn out for us eventually because we've played most of them at this point. So we're going to have to move on to, adding in some stuff, like, which is why I allow Tome of Heroes. I'm like, freely add in whatever Tome of Heroes stuff you want. Take your pick of whatever you want, because I want you guys to feel that diversity, that new stuff. And we're not getting new extra supplements for 5e anymore. We just have the new the new books, which that maybe it's a better topic for next week or something. But I was looking through the release schedule for new D&D stuff, right?
Mhm.
And it's like a Faerun's Adventurer's Guide, like a Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide, basically. The Eberron book. It's basically just like redoing stuff that we got in 5e, but updated. And while that's amazing because, you want all your old subclasses and stuff to be updated to the new system or whatever, it just feels like, okay, well, I'm not going to rebuy all the same subclasses again. I'm not going to, because it has slightly different wording and leveling system. Like, and where I saw the release schedule and I was like, okay, well, you have the Stranger Things Hellfire Club thing, and then you have all these updated lore books, but I know Eberron at this point. I don't need another lore book on it. I'll write whatever I want in Eberron.
Yeah, all the new stuff is great, but I'm really looking for different stuff, not just revamp. I'm looking for more Tome of Heroes. And we were talking recently about my next campaign character in your campaign that you're gonna be running, and I really think I might be a Tome of Heroes cleric. I don't know. I'm tossing it around. I got some ideas. I may even start reaching into some other books, see if there's some cool spells that I like. The idea of something so fresh and so new with like staples in the class, whether it be just a really strong spell or a really strong ability that no one else has seen before, really gets my gears turning.
Yeah.
I'm really hyped about it.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to allow all of that. There's plenty of third-party stuff out there. If someone has a book that they're like, hey, there's this random hit point press thing that came out that I'm looking at, can you read over it? I'd probably look at it, and most likely I'd go, sure, sounds fun. I'm even down for like the critical role classes at this point. Like if you really want to play their gunslinger or the blood hunter, if you want to play those, what, freaking go for it. I want to see all of it.
I want to see what people bring to the table. We have, like you said, we've had a lot of Twilight clerics. There's still a lot of classes I haven't played, and I want to. So I'm nowhere near burned out of the old stuff.
Oh no!
But I want to see other people at the table that have repeatedly played, whether it be Echo Fighter or Rune Knight or Twilight Cleric. I want to see them play something just completely new and have them blow my socks off in a different way.
Yeah,
I can't wait. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, I'm looking for that. I've been thinking a lot. I did go ahead and write up an excerpt for how the game will start when we get there.
Okay.
Which very exciting. I sat down and I typed up a thing and I was like, this is what it was basically like you start out a game and it shows a scene of like something big and crazy that's happening and then it cuts down to what your heroes are up to. We're going to be starting with something like that where it's like cutting out, but I have a really good idea for it. I'm not going to spoil or anything. That is going to be fun and cool. I'm super excited for starting the new campaign. I've been thinking about it a lot. Because we don't know what setting we're going to play in, I haven't like gone into writing session 1. It's more like, hey, these are the themes, these are the bits and pieces, these are some characters we're looking at being there.
Okay.
I would like a bunch of new stuff to be involved in that for sure.
So excited. I feel like we haven't played in a while. Did we miss last week?
We missed 1 week, yeah.
Just 1 week, and we maybe won't play this week, so I'm starved.
You'll be playing this week. I think it's me that's going to be missing this week.
I'm just going to sit here rolling dice if we don't get to play. For an hour, I'll just sit here and count up how many I got.
Well, you can just pay to join someone else's game this weekend.
Oh, you're right. I could do that.
So, yeah, no, this weekend, it's because I forgot that Saturday was the Alice Cooper concert. And so I completely forgot, and I was like, oh, wait, I can't play Saturday. Whoops. And then tomorrow we have plans with friends that wanted to meet up, and they're not going to be able to meet up pretty soon for quite a while because their due date for their baby is soon. Meaning they're going to have a while where they can't hang out. So we were like, okay, this is the weekend. Let's go hang out. I know also Halloween, which is next week, that day I won't be available, that Friday, I think, because we're going to go to 6th Street in Austin in costume. I'm going to be Luffy, and we're going to get sloshed.
It's a gaming term, I'm sure. Gaming term.
Yeah. Slosh is a gaming term. I'm very excited to go to 6th Street because that's where I went forever ago, and it is a very fun time you won't remember.
Well, have fun, man. Enjoy it. I may pay for a game. I may pay for a game this week if we don't play.
No, you guys are going to.
I think how you go.
Someone's running something. Well, if you guys don't play by Sunday, I am DMing something.
If Pat doesn't run, I'm going to, I think, force myself to run something.
Sure.
I have a pretty good idea of something I'd like to run, and I may just, even if I'm not ready, just go for it and improvise some stuff.
Yeah, I did really want to do Spelljammer on Sunday, but I was like, no, Sean doesn't get to play because he ends up having the scheduling issues. I will sacrifice my session for the week.
Oh, play Spelljammer so bad.
Yeah, I know we're getting some good story moments for the audience. If you've been just kind of listening to our talking about our Spelljammer campaign, the party had the craziest time last week where they entered Zerix's space. It's this big alien, technologically advanced area, and they met up with Prince Zeleth, the prince of the Zerixian Empire, and found out he is the biggest jerk in the world. He gave him 24 hours to get the heck out of here. And it was intense, it was crazy, and they are going to have their work cut out for them in the coming sessions. Like, I think the past this Spelljammer campaign, I think, is the most that I've tested you guys.
I think you've tested us pretty good. You've really pushed us in different ways. And I don't think you have ever pushed us in a way where we hated somebody so fast.
Yeah.
This guy shows up, and within 30 seconds, you're like, "Oh my gosh, this is we got to beat this guy right now." And you can't. He's far too powerful for our low level. But just looking at him, like, you literally pulled the token, I think, before he had said anything. And I said, "Oh, he's a jerk." Is this guy?
Yeah, because
like
I had his hologram pop up on the
iPad.
screen. I had his hologram pop up on the screen, and I pulled the token up on the screen to show everybody, and everyone was like, "This guy looks like a jerk." Which was awesome for me as a DM because I knew when you guys started to hate him, and I was like, yes, I've done it. Because I think I told you guys like 3 sessions ago, I was like, I'm gonna make you guys hate someone. I was like, you guys are gonna love this character. It's gonna be your favorite character you've ever met. Like, just kind of getting that ready, because I genuinely, when I started the session, I knew they are meeting Prince Zeleth today. I need to make sure I'm in that headspace. I need to be in the headspace to do things that I would never do as a real person. And I was thinking it. I didn't know what I was gonna say. I didn't know what I was gonna do. I didn't even know when the session started that I was gonna crash land you guys where I did. I just knew I need to do an introduction here. And while we were all having our introductory conversation, I was like, this would be good to really set the stakes because he has an adult dragon on his side, right? I was like, so since he has an adult dragon, I'll have that dragon crash land their ship in his courtyard. And I came up with that as the session was starting, and I had other plans written down, and I literally in my head just thought copy, delete, or like highlight, delete, because I was like, this is what's happening now.
So funny.
So I am so happy with how that session ended up, because I could tell when I said that we would pick it up next time, everyone was like, no, we need to kill him.
To spend all those doubloons too. You just dangled in our face. You're like, oh, here's a couple cool magic items you could pass, but we gotta wait till next time.
Oh yeah. I mean, you can't spend it without Patrick, and that was another funny thing is RPing Patrick's character in the exact way I knew he would actually act. I was saying the words, and I was like, these are the exact words Patrick would say right now.
You go right for it, and he'd want to spend probably more than they're asking for, or whatever it is.
He'd be like, no, I'll give you 10 more gold for that item.
But Pat, we all want to buy stuff. We only have no. This is worth it. This is what we have. All right, okay.
No, that was fun. I'm looking forward to playing more, but I think that's about where we should wrap up this episode. Thank you guys so much for listening to us go on and on about whether or not we would actually pay for a D&D session. Leave down in the comments whether you would pay to play in a D&D game, or just tell us about how awesome your home game is that you've been doing for free for all these years like us. Make sure you go over to patreon.com/tabletalkfriday and see the post show that we're about to record right after this. We are reworking some of the tiers when it goes to that, so there won't be as many of the high tier stuff. Basically, we're just asking you guys to come over, check out the $5 tier where the post show is at, and then I always just post the podcast as soon as we record it. I just record it, and I throw it on the Patreon first, and then I schedule it on all the other channels that they come out. So check out the $5 tier over there. And with that, I think I'm going to need Andrew Romano, the expert DM, the professional paid DM, to take us out.
I feel like I'm still going to use a voice, even though it's me. Hey, it's me. Drew, the expert DM. And I just want to let you know, this whole podcast was actually a one-off I was running. Didn't even know. Highly immersed, and I rolled a 16.
That's
Pretty solid
good.
game if I
That's
say so
good.
myself. Good job, Drew.